Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a Collagraph from a milk carton box, as you've probably seen before on YouTube. And this is the German milk, and I cut it open and then it looked like this, and I thought, oh, the wrinkles really remind me of trees, so maybe if I put on some more wrinkles then I could make a little forest, maybe. So I'm trying to, I don't know, like enhance these wrinkles so they would resemble trees somehow. Maybe here a little bit, and here. And so on. I'm just pressing them real good so they're visible good in the print. And yeah, here's another tree. Well, I'll probably do some more on this. Later I want to put in some foliage and maybe something that represents the earth. I'm also going to try make a structure like this for the trees with a gel medium. Probably going to use that one, which is colorless. And then print it with the usual etching inks that I use. So let's get to it. I do a little more bending and wrinkling, if that is even an English word. I use my speedball baren to flatten the surface a little bit back. I changed my mind and I'm using the gel medium that is white now. I placed the stencil for the foliage at the top of the trees, and then with a spatula put some of the gel on top, not too thick because I still want the branches to print. This old wallpaper would make a nice earth and or undergrowth structure, but it does not make the mark as I planned. I am placing a thin layer of gel medium at where the roots are supposed to be. When I press the wallpaper on it, it doesn't show the pattern of the wallpaper, but gives a decalcomanic structure. I could have done that with any plastic sheet or so. Next time I'll cut out the wallpaper and glue it to the carton surface around the roots. You can use the hairdryer to speed up the drying time if you're impatient like me. Use it in the cold air function if possible. Now for the Gelli plate. I turn it around because the other side is not clean. I am starting with the Charbonnel etching ink in Ocean Blue. As usual, I brayer it out until I'm sure that it's evenly spread on the brayer, and also brayer as long on the Gelli plate until it seems fairly even. Putting the milk carton Collagraph face down on the Gelli plate and pressing it. You have to take care that the carton doesn't move, as the etching ink doesn't cling to it like the acrylic color does. Better hold it with one hand and press with the other, also when you use a baren. I am using printing paper here, which I later regret. I would have liked to use watercolor on this one. This is the print result. I like the round leaves or fruit or flowers or whatever they are, but I'm not happy with the earth around the roots. Next, Akua intaglio black this time. I have cleaned the plate before. You only see a faint shimmer of the blue here, which doesn't affect the print at all. As I was not so happy with the gel patterns that I made, I am trying to change the impression at the roots by pressing the old relief wallpaper piece into the paint on the plate. Also, I got one of my stamps out and decided to use it for the foliage on the plate. I have no idea if this will work out. Yes, I like it. You can see what interesting structures the Akua has given me. Of course, I have to develop more what I see. Encouraged by this result, I decided to try a stamp for the lower part also. This is a stamp by Andy Skinner that I use often. I love it because it is a very subtle and detailed stamp. Here you can see the pattern it makes, shown on the back side. I press it down in the earth areas and then make some impressions by turning the stamp a bit, because I do not want to have a flat horizon. And I am using the flower stamp again for the foliage. I am thinking, what did I make the Collagraph for? I clean the stamp with a baby wipe, which works well for the Akua, but for the Charbonnel you should use some linseed oil to get all the sticky stuff off. Yes, I especially like the impression that the Andy Skinner stamp made. Also, the patterns between the trees are quite charming. I notice a special separation in 4 parts here, and of course I knew before that this would be so, judging from the original carton, and was hoping that it would give the print an interesting graphic design. Now that I see it, I am reminded of the graphic works of Alfons Mucha, a Czech artist I admire very much. He has made several variations of the 4 seasons depicting ladies and the flora around them. I haven't planned this, but I decide now that I want to adapt this for my trees here. This is the end result, and I will show you now how I worked it out. Starting with a black pencil to create shadows, I only put them on the right side of the structures because I want the light to be coming from left above. I know, I'm so boring, always the same angle. For the foliage or leaves or flowers or whatever they are, I start with the summer to create summer blossom colors. The stencil pattern for the earth and the roots of the trees get shadows. I know the sun doesn't shine underground. As a compromise to realism, I draw the earth in a brown tone. Now for the spring tree and some green and yellow tones. So, I have started to lighten the background of the trees with white pencil, started the autumn colors, and then this happened. I don't know how, there must have been some ink on some tool or tissue that had contact with the print. This is awful. I could paint some gouache or so over it, but I tried a white pencil as I am too afraid that using paint would change the print and drawing impression too much. This is how the area looks now. I should have left it at that, but in a minute you'll see that I didn't. Creating more contrast and crisp outlines with a black fine liner. This is a German brand, but I also use a micron pen later. For the autumn foliage I used yellow, brown and violet shades. Yes, winter trees have blue blossoms with a little snow on them. Now for the repairing of this area. As I also erased quite a lot of the black accent here, the paper is endangered to tear already. So I want to try repeating the stamping process with the Gelli Plate and the Andy Skinner stamp. I use one corner of the plate because a corner would just fit under the tree. Inking up the corner with Akua black and making marks with the stamp. I have to take care that the angle of the pattern is vertical on the print. Unfortunately, I inked up too much and the print is much darker than the surrounding areas. Turning it down a little bit with a baby wipe. I can't believe the paper didn't tear yet. And then using the white pencil to lighten the print. Okay, I think this can't be made any better now. I'm adding some snowflakes with a white Posca pen and then I leave the piece alone. The second print I want to keep rather monochrome. This is what I will develop now. I just love black and white with only a little bit of another value reduced color. I'll leave you with some music for this one. These patterns must have come from the rim of the old wallpaper. First I wanted to let them disappear, because they're not organic but man-made looking. But then I thought, what the heck? Maybe there are some man-made structures on the ground. Or maybe aliens created this structure. It's always best to let yourself be guided by what you get from the paint. And from your crazy fantasy. This is the end result. I like it more than the first one. Tell me what you think. Are you more the monochrome type like me, or do you like it more colorful? This was the first print, and it is a first for me, because I'm ending up not finishing it. I'll show you what I did before breaking this one off. Maybe you can give me your opinion in the comments. This was the original foliage stencil made design. Little balloons. Well, the structure around the roots is not bad after all. Here I am trying to create an interesting structure to the trees, but then I don't like it at all. So here I stopped and had no creative idea how to go on. I wanted to finish this video and thought, why not leave a piece unfinished? Tell me what you think. How would you go on? If this was printed on watercolor paper, I would have made a graded wash in the background, but I can't do it on this paper. Anyway, I hope to have inspired you to try out Collagraph techniques. You can do these prints with acrylics too, of course. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it and consider subscribing to my channel so you won't miss anything that's coming from me in the future. Bye!